Hey, welcome to my journey. Some of y'all have mentioned you missed Motivational Monday. So I thought, who needs motivation more than me at this time? I don't know. So I thought we will do another Motivational Monday. This is a kick in my own rear. I need help getting out of this weekend thing that we're in. We just cannot seem to get out of the wanting to eat out and get ice cream every single weekend now. That is our old life, and we are slipping back into it. So I thought maybe we would talk today about what to do if you're not motivated, maybe ways to help you get motivated, to either start your journey or to restart your journey wherever you're at, on the line. These were some things that I found. These were just six, maybe five little things that I found in an article online in Woman's Health. Yeah, Woman's Health magazine. I usually like to go to Healthline, but I just found these. These were short, sweet, simple, nothing too deep, nothing too, just simple little things that we can do to help us motivate our motivation, motivate our non-motivation. So, like they were talking about, the motivation part is you want to lose weight. You just can't kind of get that oomph to get there. If we've already lost weight, we know we can. We know we can do it. So why can't we do it now? Why are we having such a struggle getting back to what we know we can do because we've done it? Why is it so hard? Why do we feel like I don't want to bother? I feel like that. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like, why do I want to bother? I mean, I know why I want to bother. That we're coming to that here in a minute. But we get to these places in our life to where we just can't get that gumption. We can't get that motivation. We just don't feel like we want to do it, even though we know we have to do it because, number one, they say, they don't call it choose your why, but that's kind of the vernacular we understand. Choose your why. What is your why? Why do you want to do it? Sometimes we lose sight of why we are making changes in the first place. And I'll be looking at my notes just to make sure I don't miss over anything, because we know how the old memory goes. I won't say I have lost sight, because I haven't. Because every time I move, there's my sight. There's my reason. There's my why. Every time I take a step, there's my why. So why am I not motivated enough when I feel that pain, every move I make, to stop the behaviors that I need to stop? If we knew the answer to that, we'd all be rich. Whoever beat us to the punch first, that's who'd be rich, because we could help everybody. Everybody would know why they can't do what they need to do. And that's not just in losing weight. That's like in everything. That's just like in every situation in life. Why can't you get motivated to do what you need to do? Why can't you get motivated to get a new job, to get a new spouse? Hey, I'm just going to say it. These things happen. Sometimes you need a new one. Sometimes you don't even need one. You just need to get rid of the one you have. Sometimes you just want one to begin with. Just like starting a weight loss journey. Sometimes you just want one to begin with. You just want to get out there and you just want to get started. They suggest that your why be something as unique and specific to you as possible. Not just because I want to lose weight. Maybe you want to climb Mount Everest. Make that be your why. I want to lose weight because I want to climb Mount Everest. Y'all know why I want to lose weight. If you're new, if you're old, I'm going to sound like a broken record, and I try not to be. I really try not to be. But when it's part of your journey, it's hard not to bring it up as part of your journey when you're talking about it. My why is to, we're going to get to that here in a minute, to have both my knees replaced and my back surgery. Those are the three major things that I've got to have done. They cannot do them until I lose weight. I've got to get to at least 250 pounds. I think it's a 50 BMI, I think. And by the way, when I was at the doctor the other day, I lost another inch. I'm now 5'6" instead of 5'7", so that messes me up. Where when I was figured up at 5'7", it's 250. I don't know now. It might drop a few more pounds, but anyway, whatever. The point is, it's a long way from where I am now. It suggests having a mission statement. So I sit here and I thought, I don't know how to write a mission statement. I don't know what I should say. I guess your mission statement is, what is your mission? So this is just, and I have not rewritten it. I have not checked it for proper, how you write sentences, none of that. I just wrote it down. This is, and it suggests not just writing your mission statement, but perhaps reading it every day. Like, I could type it out and put it on my wall right here in front of me. I rearranged. I got a little blank spot on my wall. I could put it on my wall right here. So every day I look at it and it sticks to me. It becomes part of who I am. Okay, today I feel like doing what I shouldn't be doing. Read that. Okay. You can't do it. Maybe that'll give you the strength to pass over that thing that you are trying to not do, that bad behavior, or give you the strength to do that good behavior that you just don't feel like doing. Because what's that word we're talking about? Motivation. This is what I said. My biggest goal at this time is to live life to the fullest. And the way I will accomplish this is getting knee replacements and back surgery. I will do what it takes to the best of my ability to make it happen. I can't go like, I will absolutely do what it takes, period. I can't pin myself down because I'm human. You might can pin yourself down. You might can make it more, to the point, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I know who I am, and I know if I pin myself down to you will do it and you will not make a mistake, then I'm going to make all the mistakes in the world. So that's why I added to the best of my ability. That was my reasoning for that, because I will try to the best of my ability. And sometimes my ability doesn't cut it. I mean, let's face it. We wouldn't be sitting here kicking myself in the hind end if my ability cut it all the time, right? Right. Then they have define your obstacles. Explore your obstacles and create strategies to fight back. And I was thinking, okay, what's my obstacle? My obstacle is I hate cooking on the weekend because I'm tired, I'm lazy, call it what it is. My week has caught up with me, and I enjoy eating out. That's the hard one to get over, the enjoyment of eating out. I've proven that I can go months without eating out, that I can cook at home every single day of the week for months on end. Months on end, is that how you say that? But then we got to where we ate out and it started going downhill. We're slipping back into our old habits of the way we used to be before we ever started trying to lose weight or trying to get healthy. We ate out anytime we wanted to eat out, period. Weekend, weekday, whatever. When we wanted to eat out, we ate out. That was our lifestyle. And we are slowly slipping back to that because I start out my week, I know I have to cook because I send him to work with food. I feed him before he goes, and I send him to work with food because I've said it before. I couldn't live with myself if I sent that man to work all night hungry and no food. He could find something, but he would be eating out of the little thing where they have sandwiches and stuff like that. And I couldn't live with myself if that's how I made him. He, as hard as he works for me and for this family, I couldn't do that to him. So I know I have to cook Monday night through Friday night, unless there's a day in there that I am so in such bad shape that I just can't. But I make sure I have something still for him to eat and take with him, even if I have to get it out. Those are exceptions. So Monday night through Friday night, I'm in here cooking. When Saturday comes and I get up and I meal prep, I didn't meal prep this past week because I was so wore out. I was exhausted. I'm taking that shot, and that's one of the side effects I'm having is being tired, and I just upped my dosage. And I sat in that chair. It was 3:30 in the afternoon before I got out of my chair to even attempt to do anything. And then whatever I did, I can't remember. Then I got right back in the chair for the rest of the evening. I was done. I was toast. So when it's a good day that I can prep, then I'm tired from that. And then my day just kind of goes and rolls downhill from there. Well, I've defined my obstacle. My obstacle is what I said. I'm tired. I'm wore out. I hate cooking on the weekends. I really do. I hate cooking through the week, but I know I have to. I need to get that mentality back. Well, you have to on the weekends too because you still have to eat. I have to get that mentality of it's so much easier. The path of least resistance is to go out and eat. And we should know by now that we cannot lose weight by always taking the path of least resistance. It just doesn't work that way. I've told you and told you we have to do the hard things. I can't tell you to do the hard things if I'm not going to do the hard things. But the hard things are hard to do. Let's be honest. We have to do those hard things. If they were easy, they'd be called easy things, right? There would be no such a thing as a hard thing if everything was easy. So we have to try to do the things that are not necessarily the fun things to do. You think it's fun? Some of y'all are in my shoes. Some of y'all are eating out kind of people. Some of y'all get tired of cooking at home. Some of y'all get tired of eating your home cooking. I get tired of eating vegetables. They won't be a vegetable in sight, I bet, this coming weekend, because I'm going to talk about the changes, the steps that I'm going to make to, at least for the time being, not necessarily for the rest of my journey, but for the time being to help me get over this hump of us always eating out on the weekends. So my strategy to help me fight back against this whole weekend thing. Number one, plan easier meals. We know my menu is based on a certain food on a certain day, and it really has helped. I will tell you that. If you're having trouble planning your menu, assign a different food to each day, and all you got to do is plug it in. It really has helped me. I didn't think it would help me as much as it has. Well, takeout Saturday, trucking Sunday. Those are foods, takeout, things that you can get at a restaurant that we can make at home. Trucking Sunday, things that are hard for him to eat in his truck. Those 2 days are a lot of times more involved recipes than, or foods or meals than through the week. Like, let's say burrito bowls. You're like, okay, well, that's easy. It is. But when you don't feel like it, gathering up 6 different ingredients is a pain in the butt. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then you got all that mess you got to clean up. Even though I cook David cleans, that's not the point. You have to do all this extra work just for one simple little bowl, and that makes it a chore to me. For, let's say, what about, I was supposed to have tacos Sunday night, Saturday night. That wasn't hard. Still, we didn't eat them at home. We ate out. I made them Sunday for lunch. So I did make them. But certain things that you make on Saturday and Sunday that I make or that I plan take more effort than what I make Monday through Friday. So I'm thinking I can plan easier meals. And one of the things that I can do, I have this down here next, to make my meals easier, and this is to help me eat at home. So while there's like not good, and then really good, I'm trying to come in the middle to get over to this step. Or this step. I'm trying to go from not good at all to really good. So if I can, instead of jumping over, because that's where I'm having a hard time going straight across, jumping over the man part and getting to the good part, if I take that step, that strategy, that in-between part is to use convenience foods. So if eating out is, oh my gosh, points, calories, you name it. And could I pick healthier foods when I eat out? Yes, but that's not why I eat out. I eat out to enjoy it. And if I'm picking a healthy food, I'm not enjoying it. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's when I get to where I need to be. Then I'm able to pick a healthy food because I'm in a good place in my mind. I'm in a good place in my journey. Right now, I'm not in that good place. So, no, I'm not going to pick something healthy. I'm just not. If I can use convenience foods to help me not have to spend as much time in the kitchen, that I can just throw it together. Like this week, I think I'm just going to get a frozen pizza and some French fries. We used to eat that all the time. We're not food snobs by any stretch of the imagination. We will eat a convenience food just like that. I'm going to tell you what, yes, we don't care. If it tastes good, we like it. We don't care. We don't care. So getting that frozen pizza, which we like Freshetta, the brick oven, they're really good. Getting that frozen pizza and those French fries, if that convenience food, because I can just throw it in the oven, throw the fries in the air fryer, not have to worry about ingredients, looking up a recipe, doing any of that, no cooking. If that will keep me from eating out, then I say that's a win. And if I can do that between now and not eating out, then that's what I have to do. That will get me used to eating at home. And then once I'm back used to eating at home, I can get used to cooking at home. Some of y'all might think, gosh, you're doing an awful bunch of stuff. Just suck it up and cook at home. Well, it's not always that easy. Getting over our hurdles, sometimes your foot gets stuck. You can't just clear that hurdle. You just don't have it like that all the time. Some people do. Some people can jump that hurdle, their foot don't get stuck, and they go on to the next one, and they run the rest of that race, and they're fine. It's not like that for all of us. All of us are not built that way. All of us, maybe we have that lagging foot that when we hit that hurdle, it drags over, so we need some help. We need somebody back there picking that leg up, pushing it over. Well, if the convenience food is the equivalent of somebody picking my leg up and pushing it over, then so be it. This is what I have to do for me. That's like, I think I read up there when it said choose your why. Choose your why and make your mission statement irregardless of what you think people think of you, irregardless of what you think people are going to judge you for, because this is your journey. This is my journey. What I deem fit to do for me is what I have to do, because guess what? We're all different. We are not going to be able to do what everybody else does. There's going to be a group like me that has to do like me. There's going to be a group like you that has to do like you. There's going to be a group like her that has to do like her. We all have our little people around us that identify with us. But, like we talk about, we don't have to be on the same journey to support each other. Listen, we got to stick it together. And this is not in here, but the emotional and mental support that we get from other people is as important as the physical support we get. Like with David eating the way I eat, that's a fit to me. That's a physical support because he's eating the way I eat, and I'm not having to do separate meals. That is a physical support. Emotionally and mentally, which he gives me too, but my nose itches. That's what y'all give me. Y'all give me that emotional support, that mental support, that spiritual support. Y'all give me all those kind of the good feely supports. And that's what we've got to give each other. Y'all can give each other that in the comments. You don't have to just give it to me. You can see somebody else in the comments saying they're struggling. Go pound them with support. We used to have, I know it's a Southern thing, poundings, Poundings, poundings. When somebody gets married, you give them a pounding. That means you load them up with food. So when me and my first husband went on our honeymoon, we come back and Mama and Mama had give us a pounding. Our kitchen table was loaded down with food, all the food you need to set up a house. So pound them, give them a pounding with support. That's why I think we're all here together, is to support each other no matter what the journey we're on. It does not matter. It really does not matter. And then another thing I thought I could do to maybe get over that not wanting to cook is maybe cook something ahead. Do some planned leftovers. Maybe I'll cook something in the middle of the week. Let's just say it uses hamburger. We try not to eat beef but a couple times a week. Let's just say it uses hamburger. Let's say I go ahead, while I'm cooking up that 1 pound of hamburger for supper, I cook up that other pound of hamburger for the weekend. So that way I don't have to thaw out the meat. I don't have to cook out see, what I used to do is I used to keep cooked hamburger in the freezer and cooked shredded chicken in the freezer. That way, when I wanted to make a meal, I can just pull it out and use it. I don't do that now so much because there's not that many healthy recipes that I make that call for shredded chicken, so much so that I need to have a stockpile of it in my freezer. Back whenever I cooked how I wanted to cook, we had chicken dumplings, chicken noodles, chicken casserole. None of those things are healthy. None of them. So there's not as many things that call for using shredded chicken now as much as it does fresh chicken. But if you have ways that you use it, then that's a good idea, is to have cooked hamburger meat in 1 pound portions and cooked chicken in, I used to put in 2 cup portions in the freezer. So maybe I could, or if I need, let's say I do need shredded chicken for something one day, I can cook up extra chicken and shred it for the weekend. That's what you call a planned leftover. You have cooked something one day, planning to use part of it for another day. Cooking ahead, I can do that. I can also, use my crock pot. As long as I can remember to thaw my meat out the night before which if I start putting, that's another thing I can do, start writing notes on my menu, which I gotta read my menu. Sometimes I don't read my menu until like right time to start cooking. Then, I have Alexa every day tell me the thought. I guess I could set, I took her off on the weekends. Did I take her off on the weekends? No, I took something off on the weekends. She still asks me on the weekends. I took something off on the weekends. I can't remember what. Maybe I did take her off on the weekends for some odd reason. That doesn't make sense. Well, anyway, I can make sure, get to the point. I can make sure Saturday and Sunday she says, do you have meat to thaw? Because every day at 12:30, do you have meat to thaw? Well, I might better set her for like Friday night and Saturday night. Do you have meat to thaw for tomorrow? That way, if I am going to make a crock pot meal, I can be sure and set my meat out to have it thawed, ready to go in the crock pot. So if I can get something in the crock pot, I used to use my crock pots. There were days like we would know we were going to be working out in the yard that day. I would have all three of my crock pots going. I would have baked potatoes in one, a meat in one, something else in the other. I would have them all three going. That way when we got through working in the yard, we would come in and we'd have something to eat. That was back in the day when I could do all these things, right? I'm going to get back to that too. That's part of my mission statement, to live life to my fullest. Part of that fullest is getting out in the yard. I want to have a flower bed one day. I used to have pretty flower beds. I want flower beds again. I want to be able to go out and work in a flower bed. Go out and weed it if I want to. Have bird feeders hanging from my tree. I want to be able to get up and down my front steps to go out there and fill up bird feeders. Maybe have one of those cute little squirrel houses on the side where you put a ear of corn on it. You know, those cute little things. So use a crock pot. Those are some things that I thought I could implement to help me get over this hump of always wanting to eat out. You have to pick what is your obstacle and brainstorm ways that you think you can overcome that to get you back to the place you want to be. The next thing, I don't even have any elaboration written down on this. Track your food or keep a food journal. They just say keep a food journal. I include tracking because I've tried to write my food down, and sometimes I think I'm going to again, but I have a hard time keeping up with it, which I still may do it because you can see it, but I've not been tracking. When I track, I do better because I see it. I've even, when I was tracking, when I got right back on Weight Watchers, I was tracking even my 0 point foods, and I've never done that before, never from day one. Simply feeling you didn't have to. And then when I went to freestyle 0 point foods, you don't have to track. No, I ain't tracking them. I didn't track them on that. I didn't track them on blue. I didn't track them on purple. But I tracked them when I started personal points. I have got back to not tracking, whether I'm on track and on plan or eating out. Either way, I'm not tracking. So if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do Monday through Friday, which for the most part, knock on wood, that I'm telling the truth, I think for the most part I'm not tracking it. Y'all know tracking is like my kryptonite. I hate it. That should be another, I should define that as, I think I'll do that, define that as another one of my obstacles, is not tracking my food, and come up with a plan for tracking. I think I'll do that too. I think I will. So we'll think of some ways. We won't go back through that. We spent a long time on number 2. So I won't go over those. I'll have to brainstorm those myself. What will work for me? Because what will work for me, might not work for you. So we know that tracking our food or keeping a food journal helps keep us honest in what we eat. Now, I'm here to tell you, it does not keep me from eating what I want to eat if I want to eat it. There is nothing I'm hoping that mission statement will help, but there's nothing that I can sit here and think except for just doing it. I have preached that I don't know how many times. I've got to listen to myself. You want to do something, then just do it. Just do it. You just have to just jump in there and do it. I'm having a hard time just doing it. That's why we're coming over these things to help us get over that hurdle. We talked about that. Tracking helps keep us honest because we can see what we're eating. If we have X amount of points or X amount of calories or X amount of bites or X amount of carbs, whatever it is you're counting, if you have it written down in a journal, if you have it tracked in an app, whatever app that may be, you can see where you're at for the day. And if you keep it honest, when you get to your supper time, you'll know what you got left. And you'll know where you need to stay. That will keep you on track by seeing what you have eaten during the day. It will keep you on track by planning your day around certain events. Like if you know you're going to have some big event out that night, go ahead and pre-track before you even eat it. Pre-track and plan. Pick something small in your unit of measurement. That's what we'll call it, your unit of measurement. Something small for lunch, breakfast, and something small for lunch. That way you have a lot at your disposal at that, celebration or get together, whatever it may be at night. So we know that we don't even have to say a lot. We know that tracking our food or keeping a food journal is very important in our journey. Then it talks about setting goals that aren't weight related. Sometimes we set goals that are so lofty that we know when we set them, we're not going to reach them. And then sometimes when we don't reach them, we turn around and sabotage ourselves. I want to lose 10 pounds this month. To me, that's a lofty goal. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you can. People have. People do. But some of us, we don't. When you get to the end of that month and you didn't gain that 10 pounds, you can sabotage yourself by saying, well, I didn't make it. I don't care. I'm going to go out and get me half a pizza tonight. I'm going to eat it too. That's sabotaging yourself. You could say, well, what I tried this month didn't work. I'm not going to try it again. Well, it didn't work this month, but it might work next month. So what it says to set some goals for yourself that aren't weight related, that aren't dependent upon the scale. So these were some, let's see. Yeah, here's a few. It says make changes like swapping out one soft drink for a sparkling water or a water. So you have a habit of drinking 4 soft drinks, and I just call them drinks, 4 drinks a day, and you need to just start with 1. Just swap out 1. That's not scale related or weight related. That is a healthy habit related. So just swap out that 1 drink, just that 1 drink, until one day you're swapping out all those drinks. Go for an after dinner walk. That's a change. If you don't walk at all, make it a habit. Just an after dinner walk. Just a stroll. You can just stroll to your mailbox and back if that's as far as you can go. But make it a little after dinner habit. Now, I didn't make this one up. They put this one in their little article. Adding extra veggies to your meal. They knew I was reading that article. That's what I have done this past week. I have added extra veggies to my meal. I've already started working on this week's menu, and I don't have very many veggies, I think, because I have so many this week trying to come up with something different. so we don't get tired of them. I'm struggling with that this week, so I've got to work on that. I'm not through with it by any means. I've just been working on it. So even if you have to pick one meal a week and say, okay, on Wednesdays I'm gonna have an extra veggie. You keep doing that on Wednesday until you say, you know what? I think I can add Thursday to this too. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm having an extra veggie. Until before you know it, you're eating all these extra veggies. That might be how I need to do it. Instead of jumping in head first. I have a tendency, I don't know if y'all have ever noticed this, jumping in head first. I just dive on in. Sometimes I make my way back up to the surface, and sometimes I stay down there gasping for air. One thing that I'm doing is my coffee. And I went from when I used to drink my coffee, I drank enough sugar for the spoon to stand up and flavored creamer on top of all that sugar. I liked a little bit of coffee with all my stuff. Then, years back, after I started this, I've been doing it 4 years, 4.5 years, whatever. So, I don't know, 3 years back maybe, I started weaning myself off of the sugar. It might have been even sooner than that. I've never counted my coffee. Even when I first started, I was drinking my coffee the way I wanted. I still lost weight. But I thought, okay, at some point I need to get away from the sugar. So I kept my creamers. Now, I kept my flavored creamers, but I kept weaning myself down off of sugar. So I weaned it, and it took me a while. I didn't just go from no sugar, from sugar to no sugar. I had to take steps. So I stepped down to then there was no sugar and just flavored creamers. And then it got to where without the sugar in it, I thought, let's wean away from the flavored creamers to, I think I went straight to half and half. So then I just went from black coffee with flavored creamers to black coffee with half and half. So I did that for a long time. I like a mouthfeel to my coffee. That's where I stand at the present time. That's what I'm fixing to work on. So then I went from regular half and half. This hadn't been, well, it's been a little while, to I mix fat-free half and half, because I tried fat-free half and half. I went straight to it. I couldn't do it. There's no mouthfeel to it. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't taste right. So I went from regular half and half to cutting it equal with fat-free half and half. And Food Line sells a low fat, so I consider that to be half and half. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing a mixture. I just mix it in either container. So either container is half and half. Now what I'm doing, and that falls right into this, is I'm trying to go from my low fat half and half to 2.5% milk. I'm not skipping down to skim milk or almond milk, no fat-free half and half, none of that, no. And I'm going to bypass skipping down to fat-free half and half because 2% milk is much lower in calories and fat, I think, than even fat-free half and half, I think. I don't know if it's fat, if that makes sense. But no more than I put in my coffee, the macros are lower in 2% milk. So what I'm going to do is, I got some of that Fairlife 2%. If you saw my menu plan, I'm going to do half of my half and half. No, I've used up my half and half. I'm going to do half regular creamer and half 2% milk. Until then I can do less half and half and more 2% to where maybe I can get down to 2%. Who knows, one day I might get down to just black coffee and I don't need it. That'd be one less expenditure, one less thing to worry about, just make my coffee and drink it. Listen, I never thought I could get away from sugar, but I did. So anything's possible. So that is one of the things that I am trying to make swaps for. And then finally, make reaching your goals easier. It says once you decide on your goal, put all the pieces into place to achieve it. You can't do the job without the right tools. You can try to build a house, but if you ain't got a hammer and some nails, you're not going to get very far. You'll have one of them houses the big bad wolf can blow down. You're not going to build a house without the right tools. You're not going to fix a vehicle without the right tools. So we need to have the pieces, the tools in place to achieve the goals we want to achieve. This is the example they gave. So your goal is to take a healthy lunch 3 times a week. These are the things it tells you to set into place. First of all, you have to choose recipes. So you have to go look through your cookbooks, look online, go to the library, get recipes from friends. You got to pick out some recipes because you got to know what you're going to cook. You got to know what you're going to take with you. Then you got to shop for the food you need. You can't make the meal when it comes cooking day, when it comes fixing that lunch day. If you don't have that food at home, it's not going to happen. Then it says buy prep containers. You want to take your lunch to work, you need the proper containers that you can carry to work. Containers that aren't going to leak, containers you can use in the microwave if you need to heat it up, containers that are going to hold the amount of food that you need to hold, containers that are going to fit in the bag you need to carry. Maybe you need to buy a new bag, a little lunchbox. And then it says you have to set aside time to prep some food. So maybe you want to set up and prep those 3 days of food all at the same time and take the same thing all 3 days. Or maybe all 3 days are different, but you need one day since you're working and maybe you don't have time to get up early that morning. You might not be an early riser. You could be an early riser and you get up and you just bang it out. But you might be one of these people who hits that snooze 3, 4, 5 times. That's what I used to be. I knew every snooze, I knew how many more minutes. They're usually about 9 minutes, aren't they? I don't have that problem now. I don't use an alarm clock. I'm up. Listen, I am up. 4 o'clock, I'm up. I was up at 1 o'clock this morning, sitting there and watched Special Victims Unit for 2 hours, and then went back to sleep, and then woke up, went back to sleep, woke up, went back to sleep. It was just one of those mornings. So you might need to just prep your food. Like maybe one day you're going to have carrots, and one day you're going to have cucumbers, and one day you're going to have, I don't know, pick a vegetable. You just pick one time and do all your chopping and have everything in your refrigerator ready to go. Whether you're going to cook it or put it in a salad, however you're going to do it. So that is pick like that one kind of goes with what do we say this over here was? Define your obstacles. That kind of goes with that if you sit here and think about it, because defining your obstacles, we're doing things, we're setting things in place to make it easier to get where we want to go, and that's what we're doing here, reaching our goals easier. So those are just some of the things that I found that I thought might help us. And honeys, I am not preaching at y'all. It's like I'm looking in this mirror. I'm looking over here. There I am. Okay, here you are, and here I am. I'm looking at myself. These are things that I looked up and I found. I said, these are things that can help me. If they can help me, maybe they can help you, because I have got to get out of this jag of eating out and wanting to eat out. I've got to find a way. So when you see my menu plan, you're going to think, oh, you're going to eat frozen pizza? I thought you were trying to eat healthy. Okay, well, I am. But that's what I'm trying to do to get back to that point. I use Nutrisystem as an example, but I'm telling you, when I did Nutrisystem, and that's because we had so much money tied up into it, I wanted to do that job. That job. Well, it kind of was a job. I wanted to do that plan the way it was supposed to be done because I didn't want to just be throwing that money away and not sticking to it. Well, I said if I go back to Weight Watchers, having that money on the line might make me do better. Well, I'm not paying yet. I'm still in the free. I'm still in the free months. I don't know when it comes to paying my $22 a month if that'll change it or not. Which it should matter now because I'm locked in to I think 6 months. I think was the one that had the best savings. So whatever your thing that's keeping you from being motivated, maybe you found something in these little tips or tricks or suggestions to help you combat that, to fight that, to find that motivation. Like motivation really isn't I don't know, reading these things it makes you think motivation really isn't a feeling like I don't feel motivated. I say that. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing it. I don't know that we should make it about our feelings as much as we should make it about our job. If we're on our job, listen, when I worked, I gave my work my all. My mama raised me, and her words were, if you're going to be a ditch digger, then you be the best daggum ditch digger you can be. Doesn't matter your job. Your job is irrelevant to anybody else's job. You don't compare your job to anybody else's. There's something neat. Listen, we need morticians. Could I be a mortician? No, but thank goodness some people can. Everything that goes on in this world needs somebody to do it. So don't ever get an elitist attitude of your job might be better than somebody else's, or that somebody else's job might be better than yours. We're all needed in the place that we're at. Everybody is needed somewhere, or else think of all the things we couldn't have or we couldn't do because there wouldn't be nobody there to do it. So instead of thinking, I don't feel motivated, we can take these physical steps to say, I'm going to work on myself to get myself motivated. I'm not going to wait until the feeling hits because that feeling might not never hit. I can tell you right now, if I wait to get motivated to quit eating out, that day ain't coming. That day ain't coming because I love eating out. I love eating out. The day that I say I don't feel like eating out is not going to come. The day that says I know I shouldn't eat out because it's better for me if I eat at home, that's the day that's going to come. So you fill in your blank of whatever. The day that I do XYZ is going to come because I have worked at it to make it come. I have put in the work. I have put in the effort. Just like you're on a job, we got to look at our journey as a job and do what our bosses require. Our bosses are us. We're our boss. Ain't nobody else. You ain't the boss of me. Ain't that what you used to tell your siblings? You ain't the boss of me. I am my own boss. I set my own rules. I set my own hours. So I got to set my own rules for losing weight to be on this journey. I got to look at it as something important, something that has to go on in my life because of my mission statement. My biggest goal at this time is to live life to the fullest, and the way I will accomplish this is by getting knee replacements and back surgery. I will do what it takes to the best of my ability to make it happen. That today is going on my wall. Yes, it is. I will read it every day, I will try to keep it my mantra in my mind. Okay, this is what we're working on. This is what we're doing. Are you giving it the best of your ability today? Is this the best you can do? If it is, fine. You did good today. If it's not, give it a little bit more punch. So that's what I have for you today. I hope it helped. I hope it made somebody feel motivated. We said we're not going to feel motivated. I hope it motivates you to motivate yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah. If you get it, you get it. So that's all I have for you today. I thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what your obstacles are, and if you think you know how to fix them. If you need suggestions, maybe other people can help you with suggestions. I know I get suggestions of stuff all the time. Some things, people have things that I never think of. So good, clever ideas. So that's where we're at today. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one.